I have something to say about this list that has been put out. It is not a list of fence jumpers. It is not a list of fence sitters. It went from being talking about the other side, as it's called, whatever. I don't even give a fuck at this point. I don't like those. I don't like most any of those people, anyways. But there are supposed rappers or whatever, because they dang sure ain't country. But that's beside the point. I have a problem with the list, and to my knowledge, at the time of making this, as I can't stand it. Okay, just get off my head. At the time of making this, I have not seen my name. So, this is, at this point, I guess, be not a neutral party, because I am a creeker and a holler girl. And I think I have a right to speak my opinion on it, considering that it is became or morphed into something for people to use to put targets on people's backs because of their own personal issues or grievances with whoever the heck they put on there. Oh, and I watched that part of the section of y'all discussing the list where you were talking about that you didn't make the list. You didn't create the list. Well, but you did. You made it, you created it, you edited it, you put the names on it, so you created it. And then you gave people a open invitation to stick anyone's name on that list. And then you proceeded to put people on that list that are not even Creek Squad or Creekers on the list for fence setting, when they're not fence setting because they're not Creekers. They don't claim Creek Squad, like T. Dameron, Harley, Hillbilly. I think there was another one, I can't remember who it was. And then you put Creekers on there that certain individuals, and they know who they are, have a personal issue with, that supposedly y'all have got over, but you clearly haven't, because those individuals haven't been fence setting. They are Bride for Ryan. That is, and not necessarily a group of people that I watch or really show support to, because there was some hinky, shady shit there. But, and I spoke my piece about what I saw not long after I was informed of it, which was last year, if I'm not mistaken. But, make this clear. If I'm not mistaken, y'all have pretty much named everyone on the Council of Creekers. Sorry. Which is their own little Creeker podcast thing. And you have certain individuals within the Just Doing podcast have personal vendettas and issues. And it is a vendetta when you put their name on a list. And don't try to lie to me. I know why. Buckeye Creeker, Troy got put on that list. There was a couple other ones. And that was only because you have a vendetta. And now you have put targets on their backs because you couldn't get Ryan's ear. And then there was something where you kind of sort of had a yay moment when he temporarily, for a split second, put that thing out. they're still, they're, they may have messed up. They may have done some nasty shit or said some nasty stuff. But I don't know. Outside of myself, I didn't see a whole lot of anyone else saying anything or really doing anything. There was someone else that tried to help with the situation, at least with one person or two people, but trying to get a conversation. That never happened. Bygones be bygones. But it's a vendetta, and it's a personal grievance when you put people on there because they're only part of another podcast, Creeker podcast, and y'all have had, or you have certain individuals, let me put this differently, certain individuals associated with just doing podcasts, and another individual that is not part of the podcast has issues with the Council of Creekers, specifically certain individuals on there. So the fact that they still ride for Ryan, but y'all have personal issues, that's the only reason they got put on there. And how is it right for you to say that you did, like, you're lying when you say you didn't make the list. You created the list. Whether you got the names from the other side with like Adam, Justin out of time, and all those idiots, or people commented in your comments 3 times. Or not 3 times, 3 people commented the same name 3 times. Now tell me how that is right. When you could have one person who has a personal issue with someone that could go on to that post, comment someone's name 3 times under 3 different accounts, and because it's in there 3 times, not the same name, but 3 different accounts, you'll put that person's name on the list, whether they're a creeker or not. Even though that was the whole point, wasn't it? It's supposed to be for the fence sitters. Well, Buckeye's not fence sitting. He supports Ryan. Troy's not fence sitting. He supports Ryan. And as much as I have my own issues with them, the Council of Creekers, they're not fence sitting. They're supporting Ryan. But you put some of their names on there anyways, and it had nothing to do with them fence sitting. It had to do with an issue from about a year ago. And you know that's exactly what it was. So your little list is a list of y'all being hypocrites, which this isn't the first time y'all been hypocrites. Remember, calling out the snakes and the fakes, but the only people that are allowed to do it are y'all, right? Anyone else says anything, no. Oh, and it's only people that y'all assume are close to Ryan that can say something. Isn't that right? So, y'all keep up with your little list, because it's nothing but a bunch of bullshit now. It is now turned into a funny list with a bunch of jackasses' names on it. You made a second page and put people's names on there that didn't deserve to be on there. And then some of them probably did. Yeah. But you gotta also remember, they're not fence setting if they've jumped the fucking fence. So how are they fence setting? You're not actually putting any fence setters on the list. You're attacking or using this as a type of attack against people that you have personal issues with. And the idiot rappers and rapper wannabes over there. So, I will make this very clear. And I think Ryan supports this in one way or the other. No, actually, I do not. My personal opinion is that he's not supporting it at all. But he's not saying anything about it because it's their free will to do hypocritical bullshit and then try to say it's for the community, for security. Whose security? Somebody asked that question. I want to know, whose security is that list for? Huh? Y'all are disappointing as hell. This is my opinion, which is what I'm stating, because I don't think it's right that y'all are using that to take out personal grievances and put people on a list. That is Johnny Gobble all over again. That's some bullshit. Y'all playing Johnny Gobble rules now. Y'all going by his rules and putting people on a list that don't belong on a list. And you calling it a fence sitter list when the majority of those one assholes are nothing but a bunch of snakes, so they weren't sitting on a fence. And then the other ones have already jumped the fence and are on the other side. So they're not fence sitting. And then you put people on the list that you have personal fucking issues and problems with, that y'all have refused to actually have any kind of conversation to work out at all. And people that don't even claim Creek Squad. And you've put these people on that list. And don't say that you were not telling people. You said that if anyone is in any of those chats, you did backtrack on it after the fact, but you said, why the fuck are y'all in those chats? If you're in those chats, because I know that there are some people that goes in those chats, like Triple T's, or Kurt, or whoever else that you have put on that list. Some people go in there to see what is being said and lied about, and to defend Ryan or others. But you said if you go, you don't need to be in those chats. Don't go in those chats. If you get caught in those chats, we see you in those chats. How would you see them in those chats? And called them pieces of shit if they were in those chats. And told them that they didn't need to be in those chats. And the only thing that you backtracked on was the fact that you said, well, some people, I have to admit, some people do go in the chats to defend Ryan and others. Yeah, they do. Or bushwatch to see what's being said, what's being lied about, excuse me, and whatnot. Yeah, they do. But when you start acting like Johnny Gobble, you're going to start getting called Johnny Gobble Jr., Johnny Gobble 2.0, whatever. You're going to become the Gobbleverse when you start acting like Johnny Gobble and putting people on a list just because you have a personal issue with them, not because they actually did anything wrong. And not anything that is, what would I say, how do you put that, a danger to the community. as a whole, or anyone personally being in danger from the stuff that they've said. So, great going, you fucking hypocrites. You can get mad at me, unfollow me, block me. I've already had it done. And I have had people from that were supposed to be creekers that have stabbed me in the back as well, lied on me, and made stories up about me. And those of you that I had your back when people were going at you or doing nasty shit to you, you all dropped the ball, and you damn sure didn't have my back. Thank God I didn't need you to have my back, because I got my own. And that's why y'all are now blocked on my shit. On IG specifically. Because you can't exactly message me on YouTube. So, and I just don't need y'all in my personal messages, direct messages or whatever. And that's why you're blocked. I give $2 if I see you on YouTube or not. I can be nice, but you don't have to be, and it doesn't matter. Y'all took this way too far, and you put your own personal vendettas and issues into that list. And let me remind you, if you made the font and put the text of people's names and the name of the list, guess what? That means you made the list. If you got input from others with no vetting of whether or not they're just using a personal vendetta to put somebody's name on that list, which is what you did, pretty much, and then you put that name up on the list, you made the list. You created the list. You add to it without vetting anything. And most of the people that's on the second page, T. Dameron, Harley, I think there was Hillbilly, Buckeye Creeker, Troy Hill. Those are personal vendettas, personal issues for you to put their names on that list. And not vetting the names that are put in your comment section before you add them to the list is I can't think of the word, irresponsible as fuck. And yes, it does make you a hypocrite and makes it to where you're allowing people to use, just like you did, Gabe, that list as a personal hit list. I know what those are about because I've been put on a couple of them already. Y'all need to do better and stop talking shit about people being on a list unless you can be prepared to take the fucking backlash of the fact that you're using it as a personal target list. Target list. You've made it more of a personal hit list than an actual fence sitter list. And because I know that y'all did it yourselves, sorry, My back hurts. Yeah. Oh, and talking shit about people you don't know and just assuming stuff makes you a hypocrite too. That's just an FYI. And oh, like I was saying, no, I don't think Ryan has anything to do with this. I don't think he supports it. I think he's living his life and doing his own thing. And so no, I don't blame Ryan for this. They have free will. They knew what they were doing. They did it. And then they just made themselves look, in my opinion, made themselves look like really hypocritical people that want to say one thing and do another. You know, the rules for thee, but not for me type bullshit. Yeah, that's what y'all are doing. So, y'all have fun with that. Disappointed in all of y'all for even going along with that, especially it's just sad.